We are now recording the Zoom meeting. Okay, so you're given this table and you have to write your explicit and recursive equation. Okay, so before we do this, you might want to think about like what an explicit equation even is or what it does. So my goal is to be able to like input a day of the month and get number of push-ups. So I want to be able to input, okay, day 30, the last day of the month. Like how many push-ups did he do? And I want to do that without carrying the table out like this far, okay? That's what an explicit equation does. I want to be able to input 30 and get the number of push-ups. So that's my ultimate goal there, okay? So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to draw some blocks. And I may have started this with you. Did I start this with you the other day or not? I can't remember. I didn't catch what task in question we're on. Oh, okay. This is the end of the 1.3 task, but don't necessarily open it. Like I would write this down on paper so you have it as an example of what to do. So on day 1, that's the 3 push-ups right there, right? Okay. And then we're gonna go like day 2. And now I need to represent 8, right? So what I'm gonna do on this is I'm gonna draw 8, but I want you to draw it in a very specific way. I want you to draw it like that, okay? And then on day 3, we're gonna have 15. Really testing my drawing abilities here. Those are supposed to be the same size. I might be able to do a little bit better. Okay. And then I don't want to draw 424, but you could, right? You could. If I were to draw day 4, I'm not going to, okay? But if I was, like how tall do you think I would make it? How many blocks tall would I make it? Type that in the chat if you're following. I hope you're all following. How tall would you make it? 4. Yeah, I would make it 4. Make it tall. 4.
4 blocks tall, 6 blocks wide.
It'd be a 4x6. You're exactly right. Okay. So we need to start thinking about why did you make it 4 tall? Why not make it like 8 tall and then 3 wide? That multiplies to 24. Like why does anyone want to speak up? Why would the next one be 4 tall? It follows the pattern, right? Well, what's the pattern? Remember, we've been looking at these patterns. Like, what's the pattern? Does anybody know? Can you type it or say it? Anybody? I just count with a line.
Add 1 to each dimension.
Yeah, very good. You're just like adding 1, right? So the pattern that we want to look for here is that the height of it, like the height of this is 1, right? And do you see how that matches the 1? And the height of this is 2, and that matches the 2. And the height of this is 3, and that matches the 3. Do you guys see how those always match? They're always the same, okay? So I'm gonna say that the height of any one of these, remember, the height of any one of these is x, okay? Where x is the day, all right? So if it was day 21, x would be 21 and it would be 21 high. All right, so if X matches the day, now let's start thinking about the width of the thing. So the width of this is like 3, right? The width of this one is 4. The width of this one is 5. What's the relationship now between the day and the width? It's not the same like the height was, right? It's different. How much different? How much different is the width than the day? And as you guys type that in, I'm going to plug in my computer because it's about to die.
Yeah, my Chromebook was approaching 20%, so I did the same thing.
Yeah, that would be really bad, especially if I'm hosting the meeting. Oh, I see the number 2. That's great. So here's how we're going to write that. Oh no, I'm erasing. Shoot. My eraser is too big. Hold on, I got to redraw. Okay, so it's 2 bigger. So we're going to call that, it's the day plus 2 on each one. Okay, so it's the figure number plus 2, and then remember the height is X. Okay, out of curiosity, how many of you guys have been able to follow so far? Hit yes. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, so the answer to the problem is the area of any one of these figures that we have. So remember, when you get the area of a rectangle, it's real easy. It's just base times height, right? So 2 times 3. But over here, it's X times X plus 2. Okay, so that is your explicit formula. Now, to prove to you guys that it actually does work, watch what happens if I take like the number 4 and I put it here and I put it here. I would have 4 times 4 plus 2. Did it work? What is 4 times 4 plus 2?
Yes,
It is
18.
24, because we got to do our order of operations. So we do 4 plus 2 and we get 6.
Oh, now I understand
4,
it. Sorry, I thought you meant
yeah.
4 times 4 plus 2.
And then 6 times 4 is 24. And you could do that for any one of them. And you can see that it works. Like if you plug in 3, you're going to get 15. If you plug in 2, you're going to get 8. If you plug in 1, you're going to get 3. If you plug in 30, you get whatever the answer is for one of the questions on the task, I think, is like how many push-ups did he do after a month? Okay. So you gotta, again, the strategy here was to think about the relationship between the day and the height and the day and the width, and then just get the area model, okay? Hit the yellow, not the yellow button, hit the yes button if you understand. Hit yes if you get it. Yes, sort of. Okay, we'll definitely do more of those. Could you go over how to get the formula just from the table? Brandon, could you say how to do that in like 20 seconds, or would that require a really long explanation? Or Ethan?
I don't know. A very short explanation.
What about you, Ethan?
My internet cut out for a second. I just heard my name. What happened?
There was a question privately in the chat that said, could you go over how to get the formula just from the table without like drawing these blocks? Is there a quick way to do that you could explain in like 20 seconds, or is it a longer answer?
Oh, like how to get the formula without using the blocks? I can't really think of a quick explanation, no.
Okay, I'll get into that, guys. And I've actually, those of you who really like are pretty quick at algebra, I posted like a 12-minute video on how to do that on Canvas. You can check it out on your own time if you want to, okay? All right, so this is explicit. I just showed you how to do explicit, all right? And again, you're looking at the figure number and you're comparing it to the height, and you're looking at the figure number and you're comparing it to the width, and then you're finding the area of the rectangle, okay? Now we have to do recursive. So for the recursive, we need to start looking at the first and second differences. So I'm going to keep filling out this table. Okay, so I know that from 3 to 8 is 5, and from 8 to 15 is 7, and from 15 to 24 is 9. So that's going up by 2, 2, and 2. And again, this is getting into recursive. Okay. So our recursive is f of x is equal to f of x minus 1, and then whatever. Now remember, if it's linear, it's like plus 3, plus 2, plus 1, right? It's real easy because all you're doing is you're taking what's here in the first difference and you're just saying that's what's happening, okay? So it's no different with quadratics. We say like what's going on in the first difference, only it's not just like plus whatever number or minus whatever number, okay? All you need to do is just, if I could put it in the easiest terms possible, it would be plus like the linear equation of the first difference. So here's my first difference right here, right? Boop. First difference. What's its slope? What's its m? I'm going to erase this. What's the slope of that line? Can you write it down? See that area that I have highlighted there in green? Can you type in the chat what m is? What's it growing by? Maybe some other people, because it's a pretty easy question, I think. 2. Yeah, so it's going to be plus 2x, because I'm writing a linear equation here, right? Plus, what's the y-intercept of that line? Well, I know my y-intercept is across from 0. What's across from 0 if I walk it back twice?
3 and 1.
3, and that would be a 1, 2x plus 1. There it is. That's all you have to do for recursive. I can prove to you that it works, but I know our attention spans are only too long. But if you want to plug in like f of 4 right here and run the whole thing through, it will give you 24. It does actually work, okay? So that's just a quick little video. You can watch that later on your own time if you want to, on how to do explicit or recursive and recursive. Are there any questions about that at all? Okay. Cool. So let's just go to today's assignment. No task today, okay? We met as teachers and we decided that we didn't really like the 1-4 task, but we loved the 1-3 RSG. So what the ready does, I need to do a little racing here, okay? The ready is going to give you a bunch of problems that look like this, okay? And what they have you do is they have you actually multiply the base times the height. So I would use the distributive property here, because a better way to put this answer, like if I want to, this is one way to do it. This is like saying base times height. If I actually wanted to write the area, I would have to go x times x plus 2. So I would go x times x is x squared, and x times 2 is 2x. And this is like a better way to write it. So that's all that the ready is getting us ready for today, is like multiplying the base times the height, whatever it is that they might be. All right, so let's all open that up. Let's open up the 1-3 RSG, okay? I'm getting there with you. looks like that. Let me open the chat. I saw a question in there. Okay. So, Bay, maybe you could answer in the chat or out loud. Do you mean like how to find the numbers, like the first difference and second difference numbers in the tables, or just general stuff? I don't have a, well, but yeah, that's what the set is all about today, is like first difference, second difference stuff. So we're definitely going to cover it. Okay. All right. We're going to take a vote here, guys. Get ready to hit your yes or no buttons. Right here on the ready, they have you like practicing this base times height stuff, right? So there is a video here that I think is like 7 minutes long. We're going to vote. Yes will be, do you want me to show the video? No will be, I don't want you to show the video and just have me explain to you how to do it. So again, if you hit yes right now, you want to watch that video right there. If you hit no, you want me to explain to you how to do it. Either way is fine. What do you prefer?
I'll follow better if you explain it.
I see a bit of both. So those of you guys hitting yes, this video is here for you. Okay, like go back, watch it if you want. All right, but I think I want to show you just how to do it. Okay. All right. So we're multiplying two binomials together, and that's just like keep in mind that that's like base times height of what we just did, right? X plus 5 times x minus 7. And we just want to get like the area of that, okay? So they have a big confusing, maybe not confusing explanation up here at the top and a video, but here's all you want to do. So let's open up number 1, okay? So here is number 1, and you could even write this one in your notes as like an example. That's up to you though. Okay. All right. So I used to have like this t-shirt I bought from Urban Outfitters that actually tells you how to do this problem. It's something called FOIL. I'll erase the check marks. Has anyone ever heard of FOIL before? Hit yes if you've heard of FOIL. Anybody heard of FOIL in math? Not like tinfoil, but FOIL. So the shirt I had, it like explained what FOIL meant. Oh, some people have heard of it. Brandon, Ethan, have you guys heard of FOIL?
I have heard of FOIL, yes.
Yep.
What's it stand for?
It stands for first, outside, inside, last. I was trying to come up with a different acronym just for fun.
Yeah, first, what am I spelling there? Outer or outside? I like outside. We'll go outside. Outside. Inner. And last. And then like on my t-shirt, it like gave a whole big example problem, and it was, I don't know, it was just weird. But anyway, okay. So this helps you do this problem right here. And all it tells you is that what you need to do is you need to multiply the two first terms together. So this and this. See how those two are first? They come first in their each little thing, okay? So what's x times x? X times x is x squared, okay? And then the next thing that you need to do is what? You need to multiply the outer ones. So this one's on the outside and that's on the outside. What's that? Put that in the chat. What do you get when you multiply those two together? Nice. Do you get 7x or negative 7x? You could say it if you know it or type it.
That's negative 7x.
Yeah, it's negative. It's negative 7x. If that was x plus 7 at the end, it would be plus 7x. But since it's negative, that's going to be minus 7x. And then we go back to the FOIL and we're like, oh, what does FOIL want us to do? Inner. So the 2 on the inside, what do you get when you multiply the 2 on the inside? You get plus 5x. And then you need to multiply the 2 terms on the last. So this one's last and that one's last. Does that give you 35 or negative 35? It gets you negative 35, right? So like this whole example is on my t-shirt, and then they reminded you like, oh, well, you have to put the 2 in the middle together because they're like terms. How did you get negative 7x? Good question. Negative 7x was the thing we did second on the outside. So that was the 2 on the outside were this times this. So just x times negative 7, and we got negative 7x. Does that make sense, Bae? Okay, so the last step is, oh, and the same for, yes. The last step is like putting the 2 in the middle together. So if you stop here, you'd probably get like a 3, but you can always combine the 2 middle terms together because they're like terms. So I have x squared, and then when I put those 2 middle ones together, what do I get? What is negative 7x plus 5x? It is negative 2x minus 35. Answer. Done. FOIL. Thank you. FOIL is basically the distributive property, but with another term to distribute. It is. It is. If that made it, I thought it made sense. Okay. Let's go on to another one. So I'm gonna leave 2, 3. Let's do one that's a little bit, let's do 5. Okay, because I'm gonna leave the easier ones for you guys to do on your own. Let's do one that's a little bit tougher with a bunch of negatives and bigger numbers. Let's everybody scroll down to 5. Okay. FOIL. What do you get when you multiply the first? So it is just a big distributive property. What's that times that? It is just like going 3x times x. Three x squared, right? Because x times x. So it's like, if I'm going 3x times x, I like to think, okay, I go 3 times 1, I get 3. I go x times x, I get x squared. Okay. All right, what's next in FOIL? The outer? Oh, I don't know how to put the x. Okay. Oh yeah, if something's squared in the chat from here on out, if you just want to type the word squared, that might help. Okay, now we got what? The outer. So we did the first, outer, inner, last. What's 3x times negative 1? What do we get? That's a way to do it too, Bae. Negative 3x. Check. Inner. It's that times that is, I want to make sure I'm not going too fast, negative 5x. And what do you get when you multiply the last? Type that in the chat, the last. Yeah, negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. Remember, if you stop here, you'd get like a 3, right? You got to put the two middle ones together. What do you get when you put the two middle ones together? Done. Okay, if you didn't like that explanation, or if it didn't make sense to you, you could go back and watch the video at this time too. But how many people get the problem on the screen? Hit the yellow, hit the, it's not yellow, hit the green check thing. Yeah. Good. It's not a lot of green checks, some green checks. Okay. Okay. So why this RSG is so good is because it's going to make you do some of those. And then look down in here on the set, you're going to get some more recursive practice. And if you want to do the explicit, if you want to try the explicit on those two, you can, but it just focuses on the recursive. Okay. So I've been talking for a while. I definitely want to like do some of the set with you, but now that foil is fresh in your head, let's take like 5 minutes and just go in there and like start doing one, like do two, like start with two so I can see it on my screen. Then I can see how many of us really did understand it. And then like do 2, 3, do all, just start doing the ready for like 5 minutes. And then we can come together and do the set in a second. Okay, good job. I'm still here, by the way. I just turned my video off.